I'm Sherrae Hayes, and I'm a first-year PhD student in African American and African Studies. I am happy to be a University Enrichment Fellow. I obtained the University Enrichment Fellowship prior to my acceptance, and it was such a huge honor to be considered for that award. It's really impacted overall in terms of the freedom that I've had as a student as a first-year student, to not have to teach, which I would gladly do, but really get in there and have a chance to focus on my courses and really chart my course as a student, as a PhD student, in a way that other fellowships may not have allowed. And so I'm really appreciative of it as a first-year student, and looking forward to that intersection of teaching and grad assistantship as the years go on. And the University Enrichment Fellowship has allowed me to connect with other University Enrichment Fellows and see what their journey is in ways that's been really enriching for my experience here at MSU. So currently, my research interests, to be very specific, are in how historical Black images are used on clothing and used and worn by students of color, specifically Black students, and how this develops their pride and identity in ways that we can bring into educational spaces, bring into curriculum. And so what led me down this path was the fact that I am one of those students. In high school, or probably much earlier on, I began to wear items of clothing that really connected to who I was and my culture as a Black student, as a Black woman, or Black young woman. And that allowed me to have verbal conversations or exchanges in places about who I was and what I was wearing, but it also had this nonverbal effect where people just kind of know what I stood for and knew that I was proud in certain ways. So like earrings like this, Africa earrings, and everything in between that really that students wear in certain spaces to speak to who they are is what I'm interested in, and what I'm interested in to really bringing into our classroom spaces in more meaningful ways. I see my research expanding in ways that are really when I did this research for my master's thesis at NYU, and I see it expanding in ways that really become more relevant to how we develop curriculum and engage in critical pedagogy for our students, particularly students of color. And since my PhD will be African American and African Studies, how this really affects Black students, and how we can begin to really open the frame and make sure that our students' voices are brought into the classroom in meaningful ways, and how their voices can really shape how we teach and the way that we teach, so that they feel validated and they can take ownership of their education. My specific career plans will be to move into a professorship upon graduation with my PhD in African American and African Studies. But I'm also very much interested in building stronger bridges between town and gown, and so continuing my work in the community and providing that intersection that really can build genuine relationships in ways that I'm not exactly sure we're there yet, but hopefully we can get there, and I hope to be a part of that movement in the future.